But first, the opening goal, and this really is just an example of what you can do if you're able to get your head up in Barcelona's half with their high line. Mbappe already knows if he can turn, I am going to go. And Bellingham uses this run as a decoy, turns back inside, and right at this moment, he already sees Mbappe making the move. Real Madrid have won the first Clasico of the 2025-2026 season at the Bernabeu. They were by far the better team, and this puts them 5 points clear at the top of La Liga after just 10 matches. Now, in the lead up to this match, Lamine Yamal had a lot to say, and he really didn't deliver. He had a poor match overall, was almost anonymous for large portions of it, and really, Barcelona struggled to create much of anything. Real Madrid were far more dangerous, absolutely deserved the victory, so let's break down how it happened. Welcome to Campfire Football, I'm Sebastian North. Subscribe to the channel if you like seeing match breakdowns and tactical analysis, and like the video if you enjoy it, always helps the channel. So let's go ahead and get into El Clasico. So the drama got started very early. The ball comes into Vinicius Jr. here. He squares up Jules Koundé, and like he did all day, really gave Jules Koundé a hard time. Now you can see Lamine Yamal here tries to poke and prod at the ball, but seems to take Vinny down. Now from this angle, of course, it's really hard to know what happened. The referee decided penalty. We take another look at it, and what we can see very clearly is that right as he is about to shoot this ball, Lamine Yamal's foot gets right in front, blocks his foot, does not touch the ball, and Vinny goes down. So, like, clear penalty. I mean, this is so obvious, it's ridiculous, right? Here's another angle. You can see Lamine Yamal's foot come down. There he does not touch the ball. There he does not touch the ball. Never touches it, puts his foot down, whack. I don't know how you even take a second look at this, but the referee goes to the monitor, and here is the view they decided to give him. This view from behind, and this is what he's looking at. So right there, it looks like Lamine Yamal touches the ball, and that is what they showed the referee. It's completely ridiculous, and he didn't give a penalty. It was absurd. So though that went against Real Madrid, you could see their intent when Barcelona brought the ball back deep in their own end. Real Madrid went ahead and pressed them pretty high and tried to force them to get the ball off their foot quickly. Here you can see this ball gets launched by Cubarsí into the middle, won by Militao. And here's the big mistake. Frenkie de Jong and Fermin Lopez are not totally clear on who should get the ball. Neither of them do. The ball bounces, and that just starts a little bit of a problem situation for Barcelona. Now, Fermin Lopez does bring it down, but as he's getting away, Arda Güler comes in and prods the ball off his foot. And it goes right into the path of Kylian Mbappe, who turns and smashes an absolutely epic volley. I mean, this was a stunning goal. There's only one problem. It is offside. And take a look by how much. I mean, literally, it's the edge of the side of his boot. So look, I just don't think this should be offside. I just think the rules should be changed so we're not ruling out goals like this over this margin. It's ridiculous. But either way, still 0-0. Now, when Barcelona did get into this part of the pitch, Real Madrid had a pretty solid mid-block, and Barcelona had a lot of problems getting through it. Now, the best thing that they could try to do was create some kind of rotation. So you see the ball went to Pedri, now to Lamine Yamal. You need Jules Koundé making a run forward because he's not really going to get tracked by the Real Madrid forwards. And that's how you can open up new spaces. Then you have rotations between Fermin Lopez and a little bit between Ferran Torres as well. That is the best way for Barcelona to move this Real Madrid block around. But first, the opening goal, and this really is just an example of what you can do if you're able to get your head up in Barcelona's half with their high line. But the main piece here is that Jude Bellingham checks inside, and as he receives this ball, Mbappe already knows if he can turn, I am going to go. And Bellingham uses this run as a decoy, turns back inside, and right at this moment, he already sees Mbappe making the move. And on the next touch, he plays it through. And Mbappe is onside. And from this position, Mbappe is just absolutely lethal. He picks out the bottom corner, and Real Madrid go up 1-0. And this is a very straightforward goal. Real Madrid could have created more opportunities like this. Here's another example, actually. Ball comes into Valverde here. He plays it back to Bellingham. Bellingham does a fantastic job here of sidestepping Frenkie de Jong and getting away from Pedri. And now the ball is on. Watch Mbappe. He wrestles away Jules Koundé. It's just got to be played right now with the left foot or with the outside of the right, but he takes an extra touch and actually allows the Barcelona player to come back and make a tackle, which hilariously actually sends Mbappe through. He gets the ball to the other side to Vinny Jr., who has a really, really tame effort saved by Szczesny. And the tension was rising, which was great because this is a Clasico. This is what you want from this kind of game. Tackles flying in, everyone dogpiling in the middle. A guy's on the ground, doesn't matter. Let's kick him while he's there. More people run in and just smash in tackles. This was terrific. I love when these games get a little bit like this and spicy. But eventually, Barcelona would sort of against the run of play entirely come back into this game. So Militao receives the ball from Dean Howson and he's got his back to the field. This is not the right position. Plays it to Courtois, who sweeps it out wide. Now, it looks like Real Madrid are in a good situation, and Valverde picks his head up, and he sees Arda Güler completely free in the middle of the park. But another person who sees this is Pedri, and as soon as this ball gets lifted in the air, watch the way Pedri just bombs in right here. He is there so fast that Arda Güler doesn't bring the ball down quick enough, opts to go with the chest instead of the feet. Ball's still bouncing. Pedri gets really tight. The ball gets poked to Rashford. He gets his foot out and gives it to Balde. Balde plays in Rashford, he cuts it back, and Fermin Lopez is there to smash it home. And it's 1-1, just kind of out of nowhere. But Real Madrid would keep doing what they were doing, and Vinny would really come alive. So here, this ball from Arda Güler comes across. This is where Real Madrid would take the lead. Vinny gets the ball out wide and absolutely roasts Lamine Yamal first, goes right past Koundé, and even though he gets to the byline here, he does so well to make sure he gets his foot around this and keeps it in play. This is a difficult thing to do because the ball was bouncing. Goes all the way to the back post. Header is won by Militao. Howson is the other one in there. He goes up, and it just leaves Bellingham completely free on the backside, and Real Madrid take a 2-1 lead. And that just gave Vinny a whole load of confidence. This is where he just started to have a lot of fun. Here he comes inside, unperturbed by the fact that he has to get rid of the ball. He doesn't. He knows that if any of them come close, he's just going to take them for a ride. Gets away from Lamine Yamal. Frankie de Jong can't handle him. Comes into the corner, step overs, cuts, Cruyffs, lobs the ball to the top of the box and finds Güler, and this is almost a brilliant goal from Real Madrid. He pops it right over the top to Mbappe, and it's just a little bit behind him, so he brings it down, tries to set up Bellingham, and if he can hit this one touch, it's a goal. But because he takes a touch, then he has to scoop it out of his feet. There's a tackle. The ball lands at the feet of Mbappe, and he sweeps it home. But obviously, he is offside, so it doesn't count again. Now, once Real Madrid had the lead, they did a fantastic job of defending it, and they just went full low block like this. Everyone dropping in, making sure that there are no obvious options for Barcelona anywhere. You can see them cutting out any pass into the 9. And this is really important for Barcelona. They thrive off of these interchanges. So if you cut them off, there's not really a lot they can do. They just kind of go side to side and hope that eventually something opens up. But Real Madrid were very disciplined, made sure that there was nothing on, and in the end, Barcelona are taking pot shots. Ferran Torres lobbing a ball up to himself and volleying from outside the 18. And even in these situations, no one's pressing Koundé. Everyone's like, just go ahead, pass the ball. Oh, into Fermin Lopez. Now we're going to crowd in and make sure you can't get anything. Real Madrid, 4 guys around the top of the box, and then they could counterattack. So we get into the second half, and we had a huge moment right here for both teams. This is right away at the beginning of the half. Ball comes into Rashford. His touch is a little bit too big, and he ends up losing the ball to Camavinga. Now, Camavinga here, give him some credit. Little pullback L turn to get by one, and then a little pullback back heel to get it into Bellingham's feet. That's very nice. Bellingham then comes inside, and as he tries to cut this back, it hits Garcia's foot, hits Bellingham, and hits Garcia, and goes out for a corner kick. But actually, they're appealing for handball. You can see the referee just says no. Guys in the crowd saying handball, it's a handball. Well, let's take another look. So you can see Garcia makes the tackle. It hits Bellingham's thigh. Boink. Hits Garcia's hand. The guy slides in. It hits his foot. His arm is out to the side because he is sliding. He lands, and as he's starting to sort of pick himself back up, the ball just hits his hand. Oh, and it just goes out of play. Done. Corner kick. The referee and his VAR team look at this and decide penalty. That is the most ridiculous call. It is absolutely infuriating to see decisions like this made. I honestly, this breaks my brain sometimes. Either way, Mbappe steps up, takes the penalty, and it is saved by Szczesny. It's a fantastic save, so justice served in a way. But what a tragic performance by the VAR team. Now look, not much would happen throughout the second half after this. There were a few chances for both sides, mostly for Real Madrid. Mbappe going forward a few times. But it's this shape Real Madrid had. I mean, they were just so defensive. Looks like a whole bunch of landmines. Barcelona can't get through anything. No matter what run was being made, everyone was being tracked. Real Madrid were playing a fully zonal thing here. You can see they just get close to players to make sure that they're not able to get the ball easily. But overall, the plan is just don't let them go through this triangle that we have right here. And look, Real Madrid bunkering in, parking the bus, whatever you want to call it, They did a fantastic job of keeping Barcelona at bay and end up winning El Clasico. Now, Real Madrid fully deserved this victory, so in the end, all of the referee decisions, they don't matter. But my real beef is that this is one of the most watched games in the world. I know some people who are not heavily into football who turn this on. And what they end up seeing is these catastrophic mistakes by the officials and the VAR team. And then these people are confused. They don't understand. Like, wait, is that a foul? What's going on here? The fact that for the first penalty, the one with Vinny Jr. and Lamine Yamal in the first half, that the VAR showed the referee the wrong angles, that's completely unacceptable. And then the Eric Garcia handball. I mean, it falls under absolutely none of the necessary parameters to award a penalty kick. So, look, in the end, Real Madrid fully deserving of the victory. Kylian Mbappe, brilliant again. Vinny Jr. as well. And Barcelona really struggled. And at the end of the game, you could see Lamine Yamal was getting a little bit back for all the talking he's been doing. Danny Carvajal really let him know. But fantastic match once again. Always got to love El Clasico, and Real Madrid completely in control of La Liga right now. So thank you for stopping by. I'm Sebastian North. This is Campfire Football. Like and subscribe to the channel. Take it easy.